All right, old school video here. We're just gonna be talking in this one for a good amount of time right off the dome, because I've been waiting to make this video for a little while to talk about this guy back here, the DOD king. The reason why I've waited so long is because I cover YouTube golf, and to this point, for the most part, he's been on TikTok and Instagram. I don't really cover that. He's recently started to post YouTube videos, but what's really gotten my attention is the collabs he's done with other creators, specifically the one playing behind me, uploaded earlier today, the match with Micah Morris. Now, I'm not going to ruin the results of it completely, but there's probably enough spoiler alerts in here that if you're wanting to watch that video without getting it spoiled, you should probably go watch it first before this, because I am going to talk about it. Let's just jump right into it. So this guy burst onto the scene right there. Instagram, TikTok, little clips of him hitting driver off the deck. And that became his shtick. He was getting a couple million views on certain TikToks of him hitting drivers off the deck, coming across with this like boisterous, kind of like over the top personality that I think rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. He kind of created this campaign of going against the haters, going against the weasels, as he calls them. And it, I think, created a really rabid fan base behind him. There's a lot of people who love him. There's a lot of people who hate him. And if there's one thing that online content creators can do to draw attention, is to create volatility around them, to create a bit of a narrative, whether it's like an evil versus good or a infamous character, a Jake Paul type situation, right? There's a reason why Jake Paul sells so many pay-per-views. It's like there's a lot of people who want to see him win, but there's even more people who want to see him knocked out. And I've always kind of seen this guy's content in that sphere. It's like, the reason behind his shtick is to create an enticement of people equally wanting to watch him succeed as wanting to watch him fail. And at the end of the day, we're all about numbies in this world. Getting numbers, getting clicks, getting views. That's what this whole business is about. And entertaining people at the end of the day is the name of the game. And that's one thing I really commend this guy on. I would definitely say this guy is a very skilled entertainer. I think that's how he's been able to build such a following. Now, a lot of people have strong opinions on him, and to the people who have strong opinions on him in the negative, I would say two things. Number one, everyone I've talked to about him in real life have all said he's a great dude. I messaged Micah right after this video. I was like, all right, man, I know you guys have had like semi back and forths online, like spoiler alert, but like you dusted him in this match. Like, what is he actually like in real life? Like, is he actually a nice dude? And Micah was like, yeah, he's a nice guy. Like, he's totally a nice guy. And I feel like I saw that in him, and I really saw that what he was putting on was for the show of it. And what I mean by that, it's not a negative against him. It's like what he's doing online is different than if you're like one-on-one in a room without cameras. Like, he does seem like a genuine dude. He does seem like a dude who actually, you could get along with. But what he does on camera is a skillful entertainment portrayal of a character that you can either love or hate. And once again, I think the people who really dislike this guy dislike the character he's portraying. They don't know him in real life, and that's just the problem with the internet in general, is people who have these strong opinions about people they've never met in their life. Like, you don't know the human being behind it, and at the end of the day, this guy isn't doing anything that's actually ever hurting anyone. Like, he's talking about T using weasels, and he's talking about people being lesser than if they don't hit a driver off the deck, but like, he's just talking on the internet. He's not saying anything derogatory. He's not saying anything that's going to actually hurt anyone. He's just playing golf. So that's where I think the conversation gets interesting personally, because like, again, his whole thing, driver off the deck. He did a fitting with Trotty. I watched that. He refused to hit driver off a tee. Trotty was like, dude, you're losing so much distance. You're losing so much ball speed. You're losing so much accuracy. Why are you doing this? And he has his reasons. He's talked about it in the past that like through college golf, he wanted to hit low shots into the wind, and you can flight a driver better when you hit it off the deck, which I guess is true. You can keep it lower, keep spin off of it. But at the same time, like he's never going to hit it as far as he could hitting up on it on a tee. That's just physics, right? It's just not going to work the same. So a lot of people kind of see that and follow this shtick. And then as it starts to transfer over into YouTube, he's held on to it, and he's not letting go of it, and that is his thing. So now that he's coming on, he's playing matches. I mean, the match with Micah, he tops the first driver off the tee, like 100 yards, and then he hits the second one fat. He tried to hit another driver off the deck and fairway, hits it fat, another 100 yards. He had 181 yards into a par 5, I believe. And like, so, I mean, he had almost the same distance on his third shot that Micah had on his second shot. So Micah beat him really handedly. He did come back, Carter came back, won a couple holes. It wasn't a complete blowout, I guess. Micah was 3 up after, I think, 4. Carter came back, got it within 1. Micah won, I think, with 1 hole left, 2-1. So I don't think that the part that's not going to transfer well for Carter is when he's talking about like, I'm going to win the, you know, Masters, I'm going to win the Open, whatever, and then coming onto YouTube Golf and just clearly not being that good at golf. Not yet. Again, I'm not trying to say this guy can't go on and get better and compete and whatever. I'm not trying to say any of this is a negative. I'm just speaking purely like zoomed out view of like the shtick transferring over and where people are probably going to be pointing. And he admits it in the video. He says it a bunch of times in this video. He's like, oh, all the haters are going to be in the comments now. Like after he tops the first 2 balls, he's like, oh, all the haters are going to be there. He didn't play overly well. Now he might have had a bad day. He might have been nervous because when you're, let me tell you, when you're the one filming your stuff, especially if it's like clips for TikTok, clips for Instagram, he knows that if he just hits a shot bad, he can just do a retake. Like he can just try again. Like, you know, he can do whatever. He has control. If he doesn't want to put out a video, he doesn't have to put out a video. But when you step up onto someone else's channel, you know whatever happens is being used. Whatever happens, you're in a competitive match against someone, that's all being used. So that's added pressure. So I think you can also say that like what we saw in this video isn't his potential. He can probably play a lot better than that. In fact, he has played a lot better than this on camera, both on his channel and on some other people's channels as well. But that's the part of the shtick for me that's hard to transfer. But at the end of the day, none of that matters. None of that matters. This guy is an entertainer. He has come from nothing in this space, made a name for himself in absolutely no time, created a brand behind it. He has brands, I believe brands supporting him. He did that collab with Trotty and TaylorMade. I don't know if he's sponsored. I don't think he's sponsored by TaylorMade. Definitely not to the same level that Grand Mike are, but maybe there's some level of partnership. But regardless, it's so hard to start from nothing and to get views. I talk about it all the time on my channel. If you want to break through in YouTube golf nowadays, you have to be doing something different. You can't just come out and do what everyone else is doing. And this guy's done an amazing job at that. He came out and he did something completely different. He created this character, this polarizing figure that people want to love or that people want to hate. And at the end of the day, he's putting asses in seats. He's creating content that people are watching. And he shocked me, honestly, with his YouTube numbers. The views he pulls on YouTube are impressive. Like, it's very, very good. He's creating good quality content. He has enough people, again, whether it's wanting to watch him succeed or fail, they're tuning in, and that's all that matters. So saying that, like, I don't know how long this is going to last for, how long people are going to get bored of it, whatever, that you could say that about literally any YouTuber. Like, I know it seems like maybe it's more specific because he's in such a niche and he's in such this like driver off the deck thing and whatever. It might get old, might get boring, but like, number one, I think he's been on the internet now for like almost a year and like he's still growing, which is awesome. But also, like, you could make that argument about literally anyone. Like, people were saying that for sure about my channel a year ago when I started. Like, you know, come the Good announcement when they announced the Callaway partnership, like, my content pool is going to dry up. We're here a year later still making YouTube golf commentary videos. Like, any channel faces that same problem of like how to stay relevant. So his job now is to figure that out and to keep going and to keep grinding. I think if he can keep getting collabs like this, some of the biggest YouTube golfers, keep being entertaining, hopefully play good golf. That is kind of a correlate, I think, in the pool he's falling into. I think he's trying to drop himself into a pool of like a Grant, of a Micah, or whatever, where like good golf is sort of important. I don't think he's going for the comically bad golf in the Bob the Sports universe. I think he's definitely going for the good golf. So, you know, again, he has to keep his golf up. But at the end of the day, man, I think he's done a lot of things really, really well. I do think he's a genuinely good person online. Like, the reason why I put a laughing emoji in the thumbnail is not to dog him, but I mean, number one is to get people to click on the video. Duh, that's my job. But number two, a lot of people have these takes on him, but they don't realize that they're jokes about him or whatever. It's not about him as a human. They're about the character he's portraying. And so I think people just need to see deeper into that. But listen, not everyone's gonna like everyone. There's lots of people on the internet who don't like me, who don't like my videos, who don't want to watch me and hear what I have to say. That's fine. There's lots of people who do, and that's gonna be the same with this guy. And the one thing this guy has going for him, just like me sometimes, is that the people who don't like to watch you, for some reason, still want to click on your videos, to leave a comment, to do whatever. And at the end of the day, we want that. It helps us. Go ahead, like, hate, like, it's great. It helps us at the end of the day. It puts the checks in our bank accounts. So he's doing it well. I think the guy's cool. I would like to collab with him one day on some level. No issues with the guy at all. Very interesting. Wanted to get that out. People have been asking me for my take on him for an awfully long time. So there it is. Enjoy your whatever day you're seeing this.